Hello friends. Welcome to my channel Dragon Line Review. Minamikawa isn't a god candidate, but a second-rate one? Sure looks like it with the gathering of the god candidates all in Shuji Nakami's house. I'd say that Shuji reckons a lot similar to being the kid version of Death Note's L in terms of his philosophical thinking, considering that he is tapped along with Aguro, the Angel of Darkness. Shuji, whom wanted to manipulate his older brother into self-suicide, is stopped by Mirai, and at least he's more bearable, by a bit. Of course, all of this introduction is back to talk no jutsu, with Minamikawa being able to convince Shuji not to kill his own brother, but himself, the choosing of the next god with Shuji and Hoshi and Yumiki's protection. Susumu and Yuri in hiding and the last unknown, depressing Shuji just took precedence over for a while before Mirai and Saki did what Metropolitan did earlier in the first cour to call the other candidates out, but in an amicable fashion. For now, one by one, the remaining 4 of 5 candidates are in cahoots with one another, waiting for the final person to show his or her face to the world before making the final decision. Not quite the endgame yet, but it's itching closer. Things are going much smoother this time, rounding up god candidates. When this similar thing happened where Metropolitan sent out that invitation, it was a bloodbath. This time it looks as if Mirai and Saki have been able to find and convince the remaining few, except this mystery final candidate. I don't know if I've seen an anime character this obsessed with suicide. Nakami definitely used his red arrows for assisted suicide without discretion. His grandpa, dad and mom and trying to with his brother when Mirai stepped in. A very odd conversation trying to get Nakami to not want to kill himself. Since they need his say to confirm a remaining candidate to become god. His weakness being not wanting to be a nuisance makes sense. Even at the end, some people don't want to be a burden. I'm glad Nakami cooperated, so now there's another god candidate on their side without bloodshed. Susumu even seemed somewhat wanting to work together like his public declaration said. Maybe this final candidate won't be so bad. Well, the new character looks more radically worser than Mirai. But he had the point with his mind. Never expect the friend of Metropolitan have a nice role there, convincing the boy who tried killing himself, and his older brother, at least not now. Red arrow kinda to be more and more handy, whatever the plot needed, looks like. Though, the boy seems to not receiving the whole words into the mind completely, but he finally decided to collaborative when he meets someone that cute. Right, that being said, the plan to collect all the god candidate to talks things out of that chaos, seems like a high-risk high-return scheme. But that's the only option available for now, considering all the remaining candidates be more corporative than in the first act with Metropolitan around. The only thing left is finding the last candidate, that seems more difficult than convincing the woman and those kids to vote who's the next god. Hopefully. Let's see.